Mira, hey, congratulations on your new film here. Arzé.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for
More,
having the time today. Speak to
yeah,
me.
more of a congratulations being showcased at Tribeca Film Festival this year, one of the
Yeah.
most prestigious film festivals in the world. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm honored and I feel amazing and excited to finally screen the movie in Tribeca. Like it was always a dream for me. Like even when I had my first two short films, I wanted to apply there and screen them there, and finally got the opportunity to do that with my feature. So that's even more great.
That is terrific to hear.
Yeah.
So tell us what initially drew you that you want to direct this film.
Well, it's the story. It's a very close story to my heart. It is written by Faisal Sam Shaib and Luay Krish, and Faisal is my brother
Hmm.
who got inspired to create this idea from our lives, basically, from seeing my mom, from seeing my family, our daily lives. So he was inspired to create the story, and then it like stayed on the side for a long time until 2015, where he was like, "Okay, how about we develop the script together, and we see where it's gonna go." So when he showed me the first, like he was telling me the synopsis, I'm like, oh, this feels very close to my heart. It feels like I'm speaking about my own family. And Kinan's story is every young Lebanese story, including me, a person who grew up in a country and all they wanted to do that leave because they felt like their future is not in Lebanon. And Arzé is the struggle of almost all women in Lebanon, including my mother, mother who did everything to raise her kids the best way, who did everything to give us a future that and support us in whatever decision we take, including me being a filmmaker, which was not something that everyone was up for, like, or accepting when I said I want to be a director. Um, so technically, it's a story that speaks to all women in Lebanon or outside. It's Kinan's story is a story of every Lebanese young person, even not necessarily in Lebanon. It could be anywhere in the world where people are facing crisis or are facing problems, and they think that if they leave the country, it's gonna be in a better. They're gonna be in a better place. So this is how it all started. This is what drew me to the story, and then I started co-writing with the guys and starting implementing my ideas and putting Beirut, a city that I grew up in and I lived almost all my life until like 27, and having it as a backdrop throughout the whole movie through my eyes. So this is initially what drew me to the movie.
Wow, that is actually amazing. I do have a question though, because I know here in the United States we have that concept of the American dream. What is the Lebanese dream for people over there?
Well, it's to have a secure country and not just saying economy wise, saying as living wise, to be able to fulfill your dream without having to struggle every single day and having to live in a country where hierarchy and patriarchy and misogyny is taken over, honestly. And this is what Arzé went through, and that's why every stop she takes, we technically we're like, okay, it's a man that's representing those stops because that's what I faced as a woman when I was trying to become a director. So we want a country where we can actually thrive in and country where we can build a future and a career. And sadly, now it's not it. That's why look at us and the crew. Like I'm not living in Lebanon anymore. The writers don't live in Lebanon anymore. So it's a sad situation. But we're hoping for a better life, and we're hoping that the movie shows that look at us, we're all the same. The way we talk, the way we act, the way we point fingers. It's such a silly situation that is dividing us and not making us one country.
Well said, well said. in the film, you portray the different secular neighborhoods and different people. How true is that? Because to some of us who never been to Lebanon
Yeah.
or Beirut, this is a quite eye opener, and it's and in its own way, you had a funny way of presenting it
Mm,
at
sure. Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah. From the start, from the first time we wrote our first draft was a short film. We always knew that we wanted to integrate humor, just to make it easier to reach people. We don't want to like make fun of sectarianism or religion. We're not here to make that. We're here to just tell people in a very smooth way, just for them to take it like in a fun way and accept it. Oh, like, look, this is how it is. And our main goal from the start was not to sugarcoat. So honestly, every single thing that you're seeing is a situation that we've been through. The actors that she meets and the stops are actors like for example the Sunni guy that she goes to. He's Sunni, he's from his own community. So we made sure to integrate this like realism new, especially like because it's inspired by the bicycle thieves and the Italian neorealism wave. So we tried to get that. We shot in real locations in each area, and the Shia area and the Maronite area and the Sunni area, and we got cast from those sects to act their own roles, just to tell the people like even us from like out we also pinpoint like we also have problems with our sects. And so we tried to integrate the realism a lot in the movie. And I think if you now go to Beirut, I'm 100% sure you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is the same street. Like it's literally the same. Nothing's changed. The places are still the same. Of course, we added some production design, but we literally tried to keep everything as it is.
Well, it's excellent. Tell us about the main cast that and how perfect they are for your film.
Yeah. I mean, Diama, which is the one who was playing Arzé, is a star. Is someone who personally I feel honored that she took on this role. She's someone who I learned a lot from. She acted in a lot of series and big movies, and I felt like it was a collaboration. I love directing actors, and working with her taught me a lot for the future. So that was a great, great experience. From the moment she read her role and she read the script, we knew, like she knew it was her, and we knew it was her. As for the young kid, Kinan is an unprofessional actor. So it was a very interesting way of trying to get him and find him. It took a lot of auditions. It took a lot of young men for like to find him. But eventually, after hundreds of tapes and the meeting with people, it was him. And working with him was completely different than the other actors because they're all professional and it's his first movie in a way. So I tried different ways. I had like some acting methods and techniques. Again, I'm very interested in directing actors, so everything from Bresson to Elia Kazan, like I integrated everything, like techniques to help him find the character within himself. Also, the way I chose Kinan is because he kind of lived the same situation.
Hmm.
He's that kind of, he's 18 years old, he wants to leave the country, he is very spontaneous in his life. So it's like, okay, maybe you're not a professional actor, but I can see that you can do the character perfectly. Betty, who played Layla, I mean, she's a pioneer in Lebanese industry. So she's someone who I believe got the role perfectly. She's someone who was inspired by a woman she has been seeing since till today, every day standing in front of the same bus stop, waiting for her kids to show up, who died in the Civil War. So it's like a woman that is still standing next to the bus stop where she waits for her kids every day. So she got inspired by this look, by her, the way she moves, this woman, and she's like, I want to take all those in because she has some agoraphobia, and she's waiting also for her fiance to show up. So it's like we took parts of the city, we took part of like characters from people we meet every day, and together, collaborating together, we created the characters that you saw in the movie.
And you could correct me if I'm wrong. I understand this is your first feature film because you directed a short film before. How was that overall experience for you?
Mm. Well, it was amazing. I learned a lot. I know what to do or not to do for my next movie, to be honest. It's completely different than doing a short film. It was on a bigger scale. We had like 20, we shot 21 locations in 23 days. And that's not something that is normal in Lebanon, with no electricity, with the traffic, with the chaotic country. Like we call it organized chaos. We love to give it that name. So it wasn't easy at all to do that, but we pulled through thanks to the crew. Honestly, like really. Because we filmed in really tough situations and long hours, so we know, like all our lives, we understand this kind of work. I hope that eventually we get to a place where we can film like we film here in Canada or we film in the US, like on a calmer, longer studios. But it's not like this in Lebanon. It's more of like running, running and always trying to find like a shot or something like that. But it was interesting. I learned a lot. I think there's a lot to take from this experience and use it in my next feature, and things to change actually.
Well said. Well said. Well, let me wrap it up with one last question.
Sure.
I have to ask about this that the pies portrayed in your film. What is it called again? The
Spinach pies. It's spinach pies, and in Lebanese it is فطاير سبانخ.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So my question is who made those pies and how much did you have to make?
Oh my God, you that production designer, honestly, and the prop would tell you a lot. We had a lot of boxes every day. We had a specific, like a special local bakery that we had like a deal with for them to actually create pies on a daily basis. We almost had like 50 pies per scene whenever, because we're repeating, and it was so hot. It was August, like, can you imagine, like and repeat and repeat. So luckily Diamond, who is Arzé, grew up in a household which her mom used to do spinach pies when she was young, so she knew what she was doing, and she didn't need to learn the recipe. It was her own recipe, by the way. Like the things inside, yeah, the dough we got it from the baker, but from inside it was her own recipe. So yeah, we had like 50 almost on each scene. With the heat, it wasn't easy. Yeah.
Well, just by watching this film, it made me hungry for just to want to try out one of those pies someday. So who knows?
Well, if we see you in New York, hopefully we're gonna have some on the.
Most excellent. Well, I enjoyed this conversation. I love the fact that this movie was fast paced because your characters are moving around all over the place. I have never
Yeah,
been to Beirut myself, so but
yeah.
this is actually amazing. So have fun in Tribeca in New
Thank
York,
you so much.
and I can't wait to do this again on your next film.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you and I appreciate your time. Thank you.